It's a reality for many Canadians that your hard-earned money doesn't go as far as it used to. With inflation and supply line issues, becoming financially literate is more critical than ever, and Manitoba is looking to help. Delivered by Enriched Academy, 1,500 Manitoba students in the 2023-24 school year will participate in a financial literacy pilot program. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so my name is Kevin McCarthy. I'm the head of corporations and institutions. I really am involved in running the education division here at Enriched Academy, and also work with our partnerships with other organizations, governments, unions, things like that.
What can you tell me about Enriched Academy? When did it start and what do you all do there?
Yeah, so we've actually been around for 20 years.
Wow.
And we teach people about money, the basics of money that for too many of us, myself included, did not learn in high school. We had to kind of figure.
Oh, I can relate to that as well.
So I'll just give quick backstory. So Kevin Cochran, who's our co-founder and president, he really is the start of Enriched Academy. When he finished high school, he went to high school in Toronto. Within 2 years, he was $20,000 in credit card debt. Just had never been taught how credit cards worked. He actually, if you can believe this, bought a car with a credit card.
Wow.
And got into real financial trouble because he didn't understand it, had never been taught it. And he was fortunate. He met a mentor. That mentor not only taught him about money, gave him a good solid job, but also encouraged him to give back in some way to his community. And the way Kevin decided to do that was go into his old high school and try and help kids learn about money to avoid the mistakes that he made. And over the course of 7-8 years, he gave hundreds of these talks. And the content got so good, so popular, and it was impacting so many kids' lives. He had parents asking them if he could, provide something for their other kids, because their kid was their son or daughter was so inspired by what they were taught, that Kevin realized, hey, there's a need here. He and his business partner Jay filmed their talks. They turned it into a DVD set. Got on the show Dragon's Den, got a couple of deals with two of the dragons. And then it's obviously DVDs aren't the way of the future, and we moved everything online. And now we've got this program. It's expanded quite a bit. We've got a high school, middle school, elementary program. We've got a program for post-secondary, a program for adults. And so now our goal is really to provide financial education for all Canadians. And we're doing that in a number of ways. So really excited about what we're doing, and the recent announcement in Manitoba.
Hearing that he got to go on to the Dragon's Den is actually really cool.
It was a very cool experience. They actually had all 5 dragons bidding to do, a deal with them, and they ended up doing a deal with Jim Treliving and Bruce Croxon. So which was great for raising awareness of what we did and what we do.
How did you get in connection with the Manitoba government? I guess, May 18th, they sent out a press release talking about this pilot program coming here to Manitoba. When did they first approach you? Yeah,
so we've been kind of reaching out and connecting with teachers across the country. And so we've last year, we worked with a couple teachers in Manitoba. They used our program for some of their courses to help teach their students about money. We have a few other provincial partnerships. So in Prince Edward Island, we're working with every grade 10 student. They've incorporated our program right into their grade 10 careers course. And in Alberta, we've actually been working with the Alberta government for 3 years. Every school division in the province has our program. Last year, we reached 150,000 students in Alberta. And then in Ontario, we're working with 20 school boards directly. So we've got a pretty good track record over the last 4 years of working with schools across the country. And we connected with Manitoba Education, Manitoba government. I guess it was late last year, early this year. and we proposed that we would do, potentially a pilot program. This is what we did in Alberta 3 years ago, and the Minister of Education liked that idea. The Department of Education liked that idea, and we had some discussions back and forth, and that's what we. This is how this happened, and we announced on May 18th that we'll be doing a pilot program for 1,500 students in Manitoba next year.
I really hope this works out, because as you were mentioning before, financial literacy is just so important. If you're not taught those skills, it can easily get out of hand, like debts and things like your like the credit card thing. Walk me through a little bit about what the pilot program looks like, as well as, what sort of things are they going to be learning through it? What do these classes all entail, sort of thing?
Yeah. So what our program is for high school students, we've got multiple modules teaching the basics of why is learning about money important? What are some misconceptions people have about money, students have about money? What is credit? How do you budget? Why is it important to budget? What's investing? How would you start investing? What's the importance of investing? So we've got a series of modules really teaching the essentials of what you need to know about money. So these are video modules, but we've incorporated tools and assignments and lesson plans for teachers. And so the way this will work is teachers who are teaching most likely the personal finance course or one of the essential math courses. There's a number of financial literacy outcomes that are in those courses, and we're hoping that teachers will join the pilot that are teaching those courses, and this will be a resource that they can use to help get their students excited about money and understanding the importance of learning this financial skill. And so we've put out any teacher that wants to join the pilot, we're encouraging them to come to enrichedacademy.com/Manitoba. That's where they will get more information. We will be providing live events for the students that are part of the program. Students get lifetime access to their Enriched Academy license with this course, and we provide support and training for teachers that take part in the pilot.
And with like interest rates and inflation and everything that we're seeing right now, just in terms of finances, it's more important than ever to have those skills in order to navigate through the uncertain times that we seem to be going through.
Fully agree with that. I mean, I think, like you mentioned at the start, this financial literacy has always been important, but I think, as you said, now more than ever, that there's more economic uncertainty than I can remember in my lifetime. And in fact, inflation has gone up. I mean, that's a new thing. We've now added some webinars and some teaching. We had an event last year where we had 40,000 students from across Canada come to it. It was a virtual event, but we were teaching kids about inflation because that's something that we haven't had to talk about for years, for decades in Canada. And so there's lots of questions about what that is. So that's one of the concepts in that we're now teaching to students again.
For someone who's, maybe thinking about, how do I better educate myself on those sorts of things? What is kind of those first steps they need to be taking or should be taking to become better acquainted with financial literacy and to build those skills?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we definitely have a big focus on students, but we also have I would say almost an equal focus on adults, because we've got an adult program. We do training in the workplace to help adults, to help employers and workers understand this. At times, it can be an intimidating topic, right? Around money. So we are working with organizations like the RCMP. We're working with organizations like the NHL alumni, the CFL Players Association, construction companies, other unions. It's actually, this part of our program has really taken off. And for many adults, it's really about the financial stress that money induces. The number one, according to the federal government's reports, the number one stress Canadians have is financial stress about money, worrying about debt, things like that. And that impacts mental health, that impacts physical health, it impacts relationships. So this is a serious issue, and we're aiming to tackle it there. We're hoping to get the next generation and educate them. But for those that missed out, like myself, and many others and we're trying to do this type of training. And so some of the things that we focus on with adults who feel they may feel it's too late, but the big point is that we say it's not too late. There's lots of things you can do. The key is we think is education that helps solve this. And one of the big things we look at is not always the most exciting topic, but is around budgeting and understanding where your money's going. A big thing that we teach is not necessarily about how much money you make. It's about what you do with that money. And you need to be able to manage your money, understand where you're spending money, where you might be able to, save, and then eventually get into the mindset that, you're paying yourself first, which is a common concept in personal finance. But the idea there is that you're putting aside a certain amount of your money every paycheck that you get to save and to invest. So at a high level, those are just a couple of the key concepts that we teach, and we try to impart to those taking part in our program.
I mean, I'm going to have to apply some of those things to my own life as well.
Yeah.
For Enriched Academy, is there anything like on the horizon for the organization? Any like plans or things in the works?
Yeah, so we have lots of plans in the works. There's always lots of growth happening. We're actually in the process of refilming. We're always updating our content because the world of money doesn't stand still. Governments make different changes and you have to adjust. So we are actually in 2 weeks' time refilming actually our high school program. So it's going to be brand new videos, new interviews, and things like that. We're always updating it, and our platform is being updated as well. So that's going to all launch in September, and then our focus is I'm hopeful we have a few more announcements with large partners, potentially some other provinces that see what Manitoba has done and say, hey, this is something that we need to do as well. So I'm in discussions with a number of other provinces. So I would just say stay tuned. I think there's a lot more to come with what we're doing.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Where can people go to find out more about Enriched Academy?
Yeah, so our website is enrichedacademy.com. Specifically for Manitoba teachers, enrichedacademy.com/Manitoba. That's where all the information is available for the pilot. And then we're on all the other social media platforms as well. But our main site is enrichedacademy.com.
Have any stories you'd like us to share or communities we should highlight? Leave a comment on our social media or reach out to us on our website. I'm Ryan Funk. This was You Talk, and have yourself a good one.